Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. And it's been a while since we talked Pokemon Go. Or if you're me, and this is your second time recording this video, it hasn't been that long. So look, this is what we're going to do. We had some information come out about Niantic's new feature, and it's called Campfire. Now, we talked about that before in another video, but not in great detail. So what I'd like to do here is pull up an article dated June 23rd, 2022 that goes a little more in depth about it. We had this event, Summer Game Fest. Some of y'all are gamers outside of Pokemon Go. You might be familiar with it. And essentially Niantic showed off some of what they're working on. So they've got Peridot that they're beta testing into other parts of the world. That's going to come out. More on that when we get more information. Search the channel. I did explain what that is if this is your first time hearing it. And then this Campfire. What exactly is Campfire? And what are these Ultra Beasts that have been talked about? And then we've got a Community Day Saturday. So I'm going to try to talk about those first two things, and then we'll have a separate video for Community Day coming soon. So let's hop right into it. Make friends, chat, and share locations across Niantic's games. So there it is. This person right here, she seems to have been there or got feedback on what it is Niantic is doing. Niantic has now announced their new app, Campfire, will interact with Pokemon Go for the first time as part of the upcoming in-person Pokemon Go Fest 2020 events. What is that even? Well, look, Go Fest 2022 was not that long ago, but it was 2 days. Sometimes it feels like these events are just one day, but this one was 2 days. But wait, there's actually a third day. There's a third day in August. So if you paid for those 2 days, you get that bonus date in August. But that's not what this is about. Don't get confused. I know it's somewhat confusing because they talk Pokemon Go Fest 2022 events. But there are some other events, in-person events as they call them, that are happening before the August event. So more than likely, some of the stuff that they're talking about here, we will experience, when I said we, I mean those of us who aren't doing the in-person events. So if you are, let me know. Forgive me, I just ate. So that said, let's keep going into what they have going on here. Campfire is yet another new live world map app from Niantic, which will allow trainers and players of other Niantic games, including the upcoming Peridot, as I mentioned earlier, to share important locations to friends. Since the inception of Pokemon Go back in 2016, trainers have been using unofficial maps to share Pokemon location, raids, and more. But these become less reliable over time. Keywords there, less reliable. Are they though? Are they? I know back in the day we had rocket maps, which, if you had a hundo or some rare unknown, because unknowns used to be rare, kids. If you had something like that and you wanted to share that with people, you could. And it would tell you how much time is there and all that cool stuff, but then those things went away. Nowadays, people are using stuff like PokeRaid to, do some of these raids. You've got things like, Discord, Facebook Messenger. And I know some groups are even using Telegram. I don't know if people still use that or not. But this right here, they're saying it's going to give you an official place to share these locations. So, a little bit of backstory here. Pokemon Company and Game Freak and Nintendo, they're all not trying to push forward the in-game chats. I mean, look at Nintendo Switch right now. You can't really chat with people without doing some weird kind of Nintendo Switch online thing and everything like that. Unlike the other consoles where you can just put on a headset and as long as you're paying for the online subscription, just go ahead and chat. Nintendo doesn't want that responsibility of filtering language and who's of what age and all that interaction. They're just like, look, we'll let someone else deal with that. So here's an opportunity for Niantic to say, hey, what we should have done a long time ago, we kind of have motivation for it now because Harry Potter's done. They've canceled that, right? Wizard Unites, rest in peace. But they still have Ingress, which should have had a communication thing to begin with. You've got Pikmin Bloom, which could benefit from this. And now their new game. So you have 4 games here that, they have to work with, and they're all going to use the same archetype, the same architecture. Hopefully they explain what that is further on in here. I say that as if I don't know already. But we'll talk about it. So you guys have been noticing the scan stops and, when you spin some of these gems and everything like that. Well, this feels like what we've been doing all along in exchange for potions and berries and poffins. We've been helping them with this campfire. Campfire, from how it sounds, is going to be some kind of overlay in the game. Will it cause the game to slow down? Because that was the biggest problem with things like Discord and Facebook Messenger. Mainly with the Discord, in my opinion, was when you switch back and forth, if your phone is not where it needs to be, technology-wise, you could be kicked out of the game. Have to reopen the game, and that could take forever, especially if you were hotspotting just to have internet connection to play the game. You understand what I'm saying? Messenger, not as bad as Discord because it's not using as much data, but if you're having to jumble between 2 different screens, it can be frustrating, especially if it slows down your game and or kicks you out of the game. Communication is key. You can do a lot more raids if you're not spending more of your time organizing raids and redoing them because somebody didn't get in or didn't pay attention to the chat. So we'll see how this plays out. This could be where it's supplemental, or it could just replace, the Discord and everything altogether. We'll see how it goes, but Pokemon Go general chat for High Point, that's going to stay a thing. Tacos on Tuesdays. Hey, raid hours, 6 p.m. at the museum. We'll have all of that. So let's keep it going here. Trainers will now have an official place to share these locations. How does Campfire work? Look at this logo here. That was pretty cool. Using Niantic's existing map information and own Lightship AR platform. So this would be like an AR map? I'm not really sure how that's going to play out. Campfire will integrate with all of Niantic's apps in one place. All right. When you are in the global map in the Campfire app, you will be able to drop a flare at a location, highlighting a raid or other in-game events to friends. Currently, there's no real way to see raids outside of your nearby location, and with remote passes now a thing, as well as people potentially traveling to attend raids in person, again, Campfire will provide an easier way to communicate these in-game events outside of social media chats. Now, this is interesting because games like Pikmin Bloom, which, they're still in their infancy somewhat, they could take advantage of that. There's a key flower or something like that that's about to bloom, or, you need stuff. Let's let this loud vehicle go by. You can take advantage of this kind of chat and connect with more people who are in your area. I'm not in any Pikmin Bloom chats or anything like that, but, I have yet to see people nearby to interact with them. And even when I know people are playing, we don't see what each other are doing in the game, really. So hopefully this adds another dimension to games like that. For over a year now, I've been saying Niantic needs to step up and have some kind of communication to help with raids. So hopefully this will be a game changer. So, and speaking of chat, so they're answering the question a little bit more in detail. Campfire will also allow users to chat with one another in game. Again, removing the need for separate groups on other social media platforms. So what that means is, instead of having the Discord, for example, doesn't have a limit to how many people could be in their chats, I believe. Facebook Messenger, on the other hand, caps out at 250. So you can have multiple chats to have more communication going on, but the reality is you will not have to worry about that anymore. Your limitation here is you have 400 friends in your game. How many of those 400 are nearby and ready to play? I hear that you can make your own channels. I don't know if this article mentions that in there, but that's what the word on the street was, that it'll be somewhat limited in the beginning. Hopefully you can make a channel of up to 20 people, since you can have up to 20 people in a raid. So if you can do that and say, hey guys, we're going in at 6 o'clock, that reduces a lot of the stress and the need for management for people like me who have been organizing raids for years now. Yeah, I can't believe it either. Years, plural. So they're going to have that. When will trainers be able to use Campfire? Good question. During the presentation, the live game director, Michael Staranka, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, mentioned that trainers will be able to test out Campfire's abilities during Pokemon Go Fest 2022. While this will be partly restricted to trainers in Berlin, Germany, Seattle, and Sapporo, Japan. So there's 3 places in the world they randomly picked, and if you're there, you'll be able to test out this Campfire. So it'll be kind of, in my imagination, beta testing for those events, and then on August 4th, when they have the remainder of Pokemon Go Fest, the rest of us will be interacting with that. And what a nice way to get you to use it when these wormholes appear. Maybe you'll be able to take advantage of these with the Ultra Beasts. So, speaking of which, they've got an article here talking about 3 new Ultra Beasts coming at Pokemon Go Fest 2022. And spoilers, they probably tie in with these in-person events here. So we'll update you with more information regarding the Niantic Campfire as we get it, as well as more on Pokemon Go Fest and the grand finale itself. So let's check out these Ultra Beasts real quick. I feel like we have a little bit more time to go in depth. I'm probably not going to read this whole thing, but I did want to address it. Ultra Pokemon Go Fest announcements reveal Beast Balls. So for a while now, I was like, man, we've got these Premier Balls that you can only use in raids. And then you've got the 3 staples, right? Pokeball, Great Ball, and Ultra Ball. But what's up with a Master Ball? Why do we not have that? It's very disappointing that we don't have a Master Ball. I would pay for that if they put it in the shop. I'm not saying I'd pay $10, but maybe $5 if I could guarantee a legendary. Come on, Niantic. That should be your next thing there. But hey, they've got these Beast Balls. So you can see here's one of these Ultra Beasts right here. It looks like he's got some kind of mosquito thing going on. He's like a Incredible Hulk, Red Hulk mosquito. So they're saying, hey, although Go Fest is underway, first global event took place earlier in June, it's not over. So we've got these in-person events, and maybe when Season of Go ends, that's when we'll be able to, those of us who aren't doing these in-person events can take advantage of it. So they got a cool image here. More than likely will be the thumbnail. And it shows some of these that are on the wrong side of these Ultra Wormholes. So we got the first one when, you had Ree come by in place of Professor Willow. And they had the Ultra Recon Squad. Okay, so now we've got Pheromosa, Buzzwole, and Zerkatry. I'm not sure which is which, but I'm assuming they're in order. Pheromosa is the first one, Buzzwole is in the middle, Zerkatry is the tree-looking. Buzzwole they put in America, so if these beasts can be traded, if you're coming from Seattle and you're hanging out in my area, holla at your boy. That's probably the one that I'm most interested in. And I say that because, well, as I alluded to, these are going to be region exclusive in the beginning. Germany will get Pheromosa, Seattle here in the US will get Buzzwole, Sapporo, Japan will get Zerkatry. Trainers who attend these events will be invited to participate in more Ultra Beast special research. Okay, so word on the street is you can participate in these, but you can't bury these Pokemon. You got to use these Beast Balls. Why they don't just call them a different ball, I don't know, but hey, it is what it is. I guess it's Ultra Beast Balls. using for Ultra Balls. So here's a picture of the Beast Ball right here. That looks pretty cool. They've got the electricity around them and everything. So they announced this back in May, and maybe I dusted over that. Same thing with the Campfire, but as we get ever closer to these things surfacing, I wanted to make this video and talk about it a little more. So if you're not in these events, you'll have a chance at a later date, which will probably be that August 4th date. And we'll end the recording here. Let me know what you guys think. Are you going to those in-person events? I know there's some backlash about, the in-person being forced. They're taking away the remote raid passes and the boxes and yada yada. But we've been having people show up at raids, 20 people in raids this whole last week. Maybe that was because of Mewtwo. Maybe it's because of the stuff that we're talking about. I don't actually know. Maybe when we get Groudon for the 90th time. 90 times? 9 times? Maybe those numbers will reflect and people won't show up as much, but we'll see. High Point Museum, 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. Holla at your boy. Other Yellow Hat Guy is out. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you like, comment, subscribe, share. That Vanilla Ice video was awesome. I thank you guys, those of you who watched. You helped me keep my lights on this month. Please rewatch some of the older content, and I will see you again soon. Captain Sensation!